In this first part of our journey together, I want you to imagine something simple but powerful. Imagine waking up in the morning, stepping out into the world, and knowing that you can speak English with confidence. Imagine feeling calm when someone asks you a question in English. Imagine hearing your own voice sounding clear, natural, and strong. This is not a dream far away from you. This is something you can build step by step, day by day, with the right practice and the right mindset. And this journey begins right now, with you taking the first small steps towards stronger communication and a more confident voice. Speaking English so that people understand you is not about sounding perfect. It is not about speaking fast. It is about speaking clearly, listening carefully, and trusting your own voice. Many learners think they need to hide their accent or memorize hundreds of rules before they can speak confidently. But the truth is simpler. You only need a few strong habits, a positive attitude, and real practice. When you mix these three things, your English grows naturally. Let me tell you a story about a student I once knew. Her name was Lanny, and she always felt nervous speaking English. She studied grammar for years, but when she tried to talk to people, her mind went blank. She thought people would judge her mistakes, so she avoided speaking whenever possible. One day, she joined a small speaking group. The group leader told her something that changed everything. He said, "Your English is not a test. It is a bridge. Use it to connect." Lanny began practicing simple sentences every day. She repeated them slowly, clearly, and with intention. Little by little, her confidence grew. She stopped focusing on sounding perfect and started focusing on connecting with people. And that changed the way she spoke forever. This is one of the first lessons I want to share with you today. Confidence comes from action, not from perfection. Every time you speak, even if it is only a short sentence, you build strength. Every time you repeat a phrase aloud, you train your voice. And every time you listen to English with curiosity, not fear, your brain becomes faster and more flexible. I want you to try something with me right now. Say this sentence out loud, "My voice matters." Say it again, "My voice matters." When you say these words, you are not only practicing English, you are building a belief that will help you every time you speak. And belief is powerful. Another simple habit that can transform your speaking is to slow down. Many learners think speaking fast makes them sound more fluent, but speed without clarity is confusing. When you slow down, people can hear your words clearly. You have time to think. You show that you are in control. Try saying this slowly. I can speak English clearly. Let the words sit in the air. Feel your breathing. Feel the rhythm. Think about a time when you tried to talk to someone in English and felt nervous. What made you nervous? Was it the fear of making mistakes? Was it the worry that the other person would not understand you? These feelings are normal. Everyone feels them. Even native speakers feel insecure sometimes. But those feelings do not have to stop you. You can learn to walk through them. Here is something helpful. Instead of trying to sound perfect, focus on being understood. When you speak, imagine you are telling a friend something important. Imagine they want to understand you. They are not listening to judge you. They are listening to connect with you. This simple shift can reduce stress and help your voice become calmer and more natural. Let me share another story. A man named Carlos moved to a new country for work. His reading and writing were strong, but he hated speaking. He said his accent made him feel embarrassed, but his manager encouraged him to use English more often. So every morning, Carlos practiced speaking for 5 minutes. He read aloud, repeated phrases he heard on the radio, and recorded his voice. After 3 months, he noticed people stopped asking him to repeat things. His confidence grew, and he began joining conversations with less fear. His English did not suddenly become perfect. Instead, his mindset changed. He learned to trust his voice. Now, I want you to repeat some useful phrases with me. These phrases are simple, but they are powerful tools for building clarity and confidence. Repeat after me. Could you say that again, please? Another one. Let me think for a moment. And another, I want to make sure I understand. These sentences help you stay calm and communicate clearly, even when the conversation feels difficult. Your journey to speaking English with confidence is not about avoiding mistakes. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. When a child learns to walk, they fall many times, but no one tells them to stop. The falling is part of the learning. It is the same with English. When you make a mistake, smile and keep going. Every mistake is a step forward. As we continue, I want you to stay curious. Ask questions. Repeat sentences aloud. Practice new vocabulary. Even simple words can become powerful when you use them with confidence. You might think your progress is slow, but every small step counts. In this first section, I want to leave you with one more message. You are capable of speaking English clearly and confidently. You have already begun by listening, by practicing, and by believing in your ability to grow. Keep going. Your voice is strong, your message is important, and your English will continue to improve with every moment of practice. Remember that confidence grows like a small plant. It needs water, sunlight, patience, and time. Every sentence you speak is like one drop of water, helping your skills grow stronger and brighter day by day. Keep practicing every single day, always. In this second part of our journey, I want you to imagine stepping into a conversation with a calm heart and a clear mind. Think about a moment when you met someone new and wanted to express yourself in English but felt nervous. Maybe your thoughts were moving too fast, or maybe you worried about choosing the right words. This section is about slowing down that moment, breaking it into small steps, and learning how to speak with confidence even when you feel unsure. Confidence is not something that appears suddenly. It grows through practice, patience, and gentle encouragement. Just like learning to ride a bicycle, at first it feels shaky, but soon your balance becomes natural. English can become that same kind of natural balance for you. Let's begin with a simple breathing exercise. Before you speak, take a soft breath in and then let it out slowly. This small action tells your brain that you are safe, that you are ready, and that you can take your time. When you speak English with calm breathing, your voice becomes clearer. You can think more easily. You can choose your words without rushing. Try saying this with a slow, relaxed voice. I can speak step by step. Say it again and notice how the words feel in your mouth. When you speak slowly, the listener understands you better, and you feel more in control of your message. Now imagine you're talking to a friend about your day. You don't need complicated vocabulary. You don't need long, difficult sentences. You only need to share your thoughts in a simple, natural way. Try saying, "Today was a good day." Then add more, "I learned something new." Then continue, "I want to practice more." These short sentences help you build rhythm in English, and rhythm is one of the secrets of confident speaking. When your words follow a comfortable rhythm, people can hear you more easily, and you can enjoy the conversation more. Let me tell you about a student named Amir. He loved learning English, but he avoided conversations because he thought his sentences were too simple. He said, "My English sounds like a child," but simplicity is not a problem. In fact, simple English is clear English. Many native speakers use simple language every day. Amir began practicing by telling short stories from his childhood, one sentence at a time. He learned to describe things with basic vocabulary: weather, food, school, people, feelings. As he practiced, he began combining sentences naturally. His confidence grew because he didn't force himself to speak like a textbook. He spoke like himself, and that was enough. One of the most helpful habits you can develop is repeating useful phrases out loud. Repetition trains your tongue, your mouth, and your memory. Let's practice some practical phrases together. Repeat after me. "I'd like to share my opinion." Again, "Can you explain that a little more?" And another, "Let me try to say that differently." These phrases give you power. They help you stay calm in conversations because you always have something to say, even when you are searching for words. Another important idea is learning to listen with curiosity. Good speaking begins with good listening. When you listen carefully, you notice patterns. You hear the way people connect words. You hear how their voices rise and fall. This helps you shape your own speaking style. Try listening to English speakers in movies, shows, or videos. Don't try to copy them perfectly. Instead, notice the rhythm, the pauses, and the simple expressions they use. Then practice repeating some of those expressions in your own voice. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles in language learning. But fear also means you care. You want to do well. You want to express yourself clearly. Instead of fighting fear, work with it. When you feel nervous, remind yourself, I am learning, I am growing. Every speaker, even native speakers, feels unsure sometimes. The goal is not to remove fear completely. The goal is to speak even when fear is present. That is true confidence. Try repeating this aloud. I don't need to be perfect. Again, I only need to communicate. These statements free your mind. When you remove the pressure of perfection, your English becomes more natural. People don't want perfect English. They want honest communication. They want connection. Now let's practice describing something simple to build fluency. Choose an object near you. Maybe it is a cup, a pen, or a phone. Say, this is my pen. Then add more details. It is blue. I use it every day. It helps me write. This practice might feel small, but it trains your speaking muscles. Every time you describe something aloud, you build confidence. Before we close this section, I want to share a story about a woman named Rose. She moved to a new city and felt lonely because she was afraid to speak English. One day, she decided to start greeting people with simple phrases. She said things like, "Good morning," "How are you today?" and "Nice to see you." These small interactions changed her life. People smiled at her. They responded warmly. Her confidence grew because she realized that English does not have to be perfect to be meaningful. It only has to be sincere. Remember this, your English is not a performance. It is a tool. Use it freely. Use it bravely. Use it every day in small ways. Little by little, your confidence will grow stronger than your fear. Keep practicing with an open heart. Your progress is real, and every word you speak brings you closer to the fluent, confident speaker you want to become. You are not alone on this journey, and every voice learns at its own pace. Keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep believing in your ability to grow. Your confidence will rise with every moment of courage you choose. You are ready. In this third part of our journey together, I want you to think about what it really means to grow as an English speaker. Growth does not happen in one big moment. It happens in many small, simple moments. Every time you speak, listen, repeat, or even pause to think, you are growing. Sometimes growth feels exciting, and sometimes it feels slow. But slow growth is still growth. You are moving forward, step by step, word by word, and that movement will carry you to the confident English you want. Imagine walking into a conversation with someone you respect. Maybe it is a teacher, a colleague, a new friend, or even someone you admire online. You want to express yourself clearly, and you want them to understand you. One of the strongest things you can do in that moment is to stay present. Do not jump ahead in your mind. Do not think about mistakes you made last week. Focus on the person in front of you, the sentence you are saying, and the message you want to share. Presence makes your English stronger because your mind becomes calm. A calm mind helps you choose words naturally. Let me share a story about a learner named Mira. She always felt that speaking English made her heart beat fast. Her thoughts would rush, and she felt pressure to speak perfectly. One day, she decided she would focus only on the next sentence, nothing more. If she made a mistake, she simply continued. If she forgot a word, she used a simpler one. After a few weeks, she noticed something interesting. People understood her more easily, not because her grammar became perfect, but because her voice became steady. She learned that confidence comes from calm consistency, not from perfection. I want you to try something right now. Say this slowly. I speak with calm confidence. Again, I speak with calm confidence. Let the words settle into your body. Feel the rhythm. Feel the softness of the sentence. This simple practice trains your voice and reduces stress. Another helpful technique is to build speaking momentum. Momentum happens when you speak without stopping yourself too early. Some learners speak 2 sentences and then think, "Oh no, that sounded bad," and they stop. But if you continue speaking, even if it feels a little awkward, you give your brain time to adjust. Imagine warming up your voice the same way an athlete warms up their body. Your first sentences are warm-up. They do not need to be perfect. They only need to get you moving. Let's practice this idea with a simple exercise. Choose a topic you know well, like your morning routine, your job, your hobby, or your family. Say, "I want to tell you about my morning." Then continue step by step. I wake up early. I make coffee. I prepare for my day. I think about the tasks I want to finish. Keep going. The goal is not to sound impressive. The goal is to keep moving. Momentum builds fluency. Now let's talk about vocabulary. Many learners believe they need thousands of words before they can speak confidently. But confidence comes from using the words you already know. Of course, learning new vocabulary is helpful, but you do not need rare or complicated words. What you need are clear, everyday words used with purpose. For example, instead of saying, "I had a complicated and exhausting experience," you can say, "It was a hard day and I felt very tired." This simple version communicates the same idea and is easier to say. Try repeating these phrases with me. I can explain things in simple words. Again, simple English is strong English. When you understand that clarity matters more than complexity, your speaking becomes more natural. Let me tell you about a man named Theo. He used to collect long, difficult words because he thought they made him sound smarter. But when he used them in conversations, people often looked confused. One day, a colleague told him kindly, "You don't need big words. Your ideas are already interesting." That moment changed him. He started focusing on expressing ideas, not decorating them. Suddenly, his conversations became smoother. People responded more warmly. His confidence grew because he stopped worrying about vocabulary and started focusing on connection. Another key skill is asking questions during conversations. Many learners think speaking means talking a lot, but effective speaking also includes listening and guiding the conversation with simple questions. Try saying, "What do you mean? Can you tell me more? How do you feel about that?" These questions show interest, build connection, and give you time to think. Asking questions is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strong communication. Now let's practice speaking with emotion. Emotion gives your voice life. When you talk about something you enjoy, let your voice rise slightly. When you talk about something serious, let it fall gently. Emotions help listeners understand you, even if your grammar is not perfect. Try saying this with warm feeling. "I enjoy learning every day." Then try this with calm seriousness. "Sometimes learning feels difficult, but I keep going." Notice how the feeling shapes your voice. Before we close this section, I want you to picture your future self. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. Imagine speaking English smoothly, clearly, and confidently. Imagine having conversations without fear. Imagine expressing your ideas freely. That future version of you is not a fantasy. It is a result of the daily practice you are doing now. Every sentence you speak today is building the voice you will use tomorrow. You are learning, growing, improving, and stepping into the confident English speaker you want to become. Keep going. Your progress is real, and you are stronger than your doubts. You are becoming more confident every day, and your voice is developing strength, clarity, warmth, courage, energy, and purpose with every moment you choose to practice. keep growing with confidence. Always, in this fourth part of our lesson, I want you to think about how your English connects you to the world around you. Speaking confidently is not only about producing clear sentences. It is also about understanding people, sharing your ideas, and participating in real conversations. Many learners believe that confidence comes from studying more, but true confidence comes from using what you already know. When you practice consistently, even in small ways, you begin to feel at home in the language, and that comfort becomes the foundation of your confidence. Imagine you are sitting with a group of people who speak English. You listen to them as they talk about their day, their plans, or something funny that happened. Maybe you feel unsure about joining the conversation. Maybe you are afraid of interrupting or making a mistake. But conversation is like dancing. You do not need to know every step perfectly. You only need to join in, even with small movements. When you add one simple sentence, you are already part of the rhythm. Let me tell you about a man named Jonas. He moved to a new city where English was spoken everywhere. He understood a lot, but he rarely joined conversations. One day, he decided he would say at least one sentence in every conversation he heard. Sometimes he added a comment like, "That sounds interesting," or asked a question like, "Really? What happened next?" These small steps made a huge difference. People started turning toward him, including him, asking him questions, and seeing him as part of the group. Jonas realized that participation is the doorway to confidence. Try repeating this with me. I can join conversations. Say it again. I can join conversations. When you speak these words, you are training your mind to step forward instead of stepping back. Another important part of confident speaking is learning to paraphrase. Paraphrasing means saying something in a different way. When you do not know a specific word, you can use simpler words to express the same idea. For example, if you cannot remember the word recommend, you can say, "I think you should try this." If you forget the word frustrated, you can say, "I feel annoyed and tired." Paraphrasing helps you stay in the conversation instead of stopping. Practice this skill by choosing a word you know and explaining it without using the word itself. For example, try explaining the word restaurant by saying, "It is a place where people go to eat." Try explaining weather by saying, "It is what the sky and air are like outside." This simple exercise trains your mind to stay flexible. Another story I want to share is about a student named Hannah. She felt shy whenever she did not know the exact word she needed. She often stopped talking completely. But her teacher encouraged her to explain things in her own way. At first, Hannah felt awkward. Her sentences were longer and sometimes less precise, but people understood her. They listened, they nodded. She discovered that communication is not about the perfect word. It is about the message. As soon as she understood this, her confidence grew quickly. Another valuable skill is learning to handle misunderstandings. Many learners fear moments when someone does not understand them, but misunderstandings are normal. They happen to everyone, even native speakers. The key is to stay calm. If someone does not understand you, you can repeat your sentence slowly, use simpler words, or ask, "Should I say that in another way?" These small strategies keep the conversation moving and show that you are confident and flexible. Repeat after me. "It is okay if someone does not understand me." Again, "I can try again calmly." These sentences help you build emotional strength while speaking. Let's talk about real life practice. You do not need to wait for a special situation to practice speaking. You can practice in small ways throughout your day. Describe what you are doing. Tell a short story to yourself. Talk about your goals out loud. You can even speak to your reflection in the mirror. When you hear your own voice often, it becomes more familiar and less scary. Try saying this, "I practice a little every day." Now say, "My voice becomes stronger with practice." These small habits make a big difference over time. Another practical tip is to set simple speaking challenges for yourself. For example, challenge yourself to greet someone in English once a day. Challenge yourself to ask one question in English during a meeting or class. Challenge yourself to explain one thing you learned. These small challenges add up and turn into real confidence. Before we finish this section, I want you to imagine a moment in your future when you are using English easily. Maybe you are traveling, working, studying, or chatting with friends. Imagine yourself speaking with a relaxed smile, listening comfortably, and expressing your ideas clearly. That version of you is already growing inside you right now. Every word you practice brings you closer to that confident speaker. You are doing something powerful by showing up, practicing, learning, and continuing. Your English is improving. Your confidence is expanding. Keep going, keep practicing, and keep believing in your ability to grow. You are learning, you are learning, you are learning. When you reach this point in your English journey, something important begins to happen. You start to realize that confidence is not a sudden moment. It is a slow, steady process of learning, practicing, and trusting yourself a little more each day. In this section, I want to help you deepen that trust. I want you to feel that English is not something outside of you anymore. It is something you carry with you, something you can use, something you can grow. Think about the last time you tried to explain something in English. Maybe your mind moved faster than your words. Maybe you paused, searching for the right expression. Maybe you felt frustrated, but here is the truth. Every time you try to speak, even when the words are imperfect, you are building your skills. You are building your courage, and courage is the real heart of confidence. Let me tell you about a woman named Priya. She had been studying English for years, but she always felt nervous speaking at work. She worked in a company where English was used in meetings, emails, and presentations. She understood almost everything, but speaking felt like climbing a mountain. One day, her manager asked her to share her opinion during a team meeting. Her heart raced. She felt her throat tighten, but she decided to speak anyway. Her voice shook a little, but she shared her thoughts as clearly as she could. After the meeting, 2 coworkers told her that her point was helpful and interesting. That moment changed something inside her. She realized that people were not judging her accent, her speed, or her mistakes. They were listening to her ideas, and your ideas matter too. Repeat this with me. My ideas are valuable. Again, my ideas are valuable. When you speak from that place, your English becomes more confident and more natural. Another helpful strategy is learning to use thinking phrases. These are short expressions that give you time to organize your thoughts while still sounding confident. Some useful thinking phrases include, "Let me think about that. That's an interesting question. Let me try to explain, and here's how I see it." When you use these phrases, you create space for yourself. You show the listener that you are engaged and thoughtful, even if your sentence is still forming. Try practicing these phrases right now. Say them out loud. Let me think about that. That's an interesting question. Here's how I see it. Notice how these phrases make you sound calm, clear, and confident. They are small tools, but they can transform your speaking experience. Another important part of speaking English confidently is learning to enjoy the language. Many learners focus so much on mistakes that they forget to have fun. But fun is fuel for learning. When you enjoy a language, you learn faster, remember more, and feel less stressed. Think about the things you love. Do you enjoy stories? Try reading short English stories every day. Do you love music? Listen to English songs and sing along. Do you enjoy comedy? Watch English stand-up clips or short funny videos. Do you love cooking? Watch English cooking channels and explain the steps to yourself as you follow them. When English becomes a part of your hobbies, it becomes part of your life in a natural, joyful way. Let me share another story. There was a student named Omar who struggled with textbooks. He always felt bored, but he loved basketball. One day, he started watching basketball interviews in English. He listened to players talk about teamwork, training, and motivation. Soon he was repeating phrases, copying expressions, and even learning new vocabulary without trying. English became fun because it came through something he already loved. You can do the same. Ask yourself, what do I enjoy? Then bring English into that part of your life. Repeat after me. I can learn English through things I enjoy. Again, I can enjoy my learning. In this section, I also want you to think about your relationship with mistakes. Mistakes are not proof that you are bad at English. Mistakes are proof that you are using English. Every confident speaker you admire has made thousands of mistakes. Every fluent person you know has been through moments of confusion, embarrassment, and uncertainty. And yet they grew. You will grow too. If you make a mistake while speaking, try saying calmly, "Let me say that again," or "I'll try another way." These phrases keep the conversation moving and show that you are comfortable adjusting your speech. Try repeating this. Mistakes help me learn. Again, I grow through practice. Now let's talk about speaking with clarity. Clarity is not about perfect grammar. It is about expressing your message in a simple, understandable way. Here are a few ways to speak more clearly. Use shorter sentences, pause between ideas, use familiar vocabulary, and make eye contact when possible. These small habits help people follow your meaning naturally. You can practice clarity by choosing one idea and explaining it in 3 simple sentences. For example, choose my weekend, my job, or my city. Try saying something like, "My weekend was relaxing. I stayed at home and watched a movie. I also cooked something new." Clear, simple, confident. Before we finish this section, I want to remind you of something important. You are already improving. You are showing dedication, focus, and courage by continuing this lesson. Many people dream of speaking English confidently, but they never take consistent steps. You are taking those steps. You are doing the work, and your progress is real. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Imagine how your voice will sound, how easily your sentences will form, how calmly you will express your thoughts. That future version of you is waiting, and every time you practice, you walk closer to that version. Repeat this with me. I am becoming more confident. Again, I am growing every day. You are not learning English alone. You have support, guidance, and the inner strength to continue. Keep moving forward. Keep trusting yourself. Keep speaking, even when it feels difficult. Your confidence is rising, your ability is expanding, and your English is becoming a natural part of who you are. You are doing wonderfully. Keep going. You are ready for the next step. As we continue into this 6th section of your lesson, I want you to focus on something many learners overlook: the power of small, daily confidence habits. Confidence is not a talent you are born with. It is a habit, a routine, a gentle practice that strengthens your voice over time. When you train your confidence the same way you practice vocabulary or pronunciation, speaking becomes easier, lighter, and more natural. In this section, we will build those habits together. Think about how you start your day. Before you open your phone or begin your work, try saying one simple English sentence out loud. It can be something like, "Today I will learn something new," or "My English is improving every day." This tiny habit sets a positive tone for your mind. It tells your brain, "I am a person who uses English." And that message grows stronger every time you repeat it. Another daily habit is to choose one object in your environment and describe it in English. It can be your coffee mug, your bag, your shoes, or even the view from your window. You can say something like, "This mug is my favorite. I bought it last year. I use it every morning." These small descriptions train your brain to think in English naturally. They also prepare you for real, life conversations, because describing things is something we do all the time when speaking with others. Let me tell you a story about a learner named Rosa. She always felt nervous about speaking, so her teacher asked her to do one tiny English challenge every day. Some days she described her breakfast. Other days she named things around her house. Once in a while, she practiced greeting sentences like, "Good morning," or "How are you today?" After a few weeks, Rosa noticed something surprising. She started forming sentences faster. Her tongue felt more comfortable producing English sounds. Her confidence grew not because of long study sessions, but because of small daily habits, and you can build the same strength. Try repeating this right now. Small habits make big progress. Again, small habits make big progress. When you repeat these phrases, you remind yourself that improvement does not need to be dramatic. It simply needs to be consistent. Another tool that can help you speak with more confidence is the use of connection phrases. These are short transitions that help your speech flow smoothly from one idea to another. Some examples are, first of all, another thing is, on the other hand, also, and finally. These simple phrases help you organize your thoughts. They also make your English sound more fluent and natural. Practice them for a moment. First of all, another thing is, also, finally. Now try using them in your own sentences. For example, first of all, I like learning English. Another thing is that I enjoy meeting new people. Also, English helps me at work. Finally, it makes travel easier. Notice how these phrases guide your listener and help your ideas flow. Another important part of speaking confidently is your body language. Yes, your body affects your English. When you sit up straight, relax your shoulders, and breathe normally, your voice becomes clearer and calmer. Many learners speak too quietly because they feel tense or uncertain. But when you lift your posture slightly and take a comfortable breath, you sound more confident instantly. Practice this with me. Sit up straight or stand tall, take a slow breath, and say, "I can speak with confidence." Again, I can speak with confidence. And notice how your voice feels stronger when your body supports you. Real life conversations also become easier when you learn the skill of active listening. Active listening means showing interest, giving small responses, and asking simple questions. You can say things like, "Really? That's interesting. How did you feel?" or "What happened next?" These small responses show that you care about the conversation. They also help you stay engaged and create more opportunities to speak. Let's practice a few of these, really. That's great. I understand. Tell me more. If you use these phrases often, you will find that people enjoy speaking with you. They will include you more naturally, which gives you more chances to practice. Now let's talk about speaking in stressful situations. Many learners feel nervous when speaking with a teacher, a boss, a stranger, or a group of people. Nervousness is normal, but there is a simple technique that can help. Slow your pace. When you slow down, your mind becomes clearer, your pronunciation becomes smoother, and your confidence becomes stronger. You do not need to rush. English is not a race. You can take your time. Try saying this in a slow, calm voice. I can take my time when I speak. Again, slower. I can take my time when I speak. When you practice slow speaking, you give yourself permission to breathe and express yourself clearly. Another useful strategy is visualization. Visualization means imagining yourself in a situation where you succeed. Before a conversation, close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself speaking clearly and confidently. Imagine the other person listening with interest. Imagine your words flowing smoothly. This mental picture prepares your brain for success before you even open your mouth. A learner named Lewis used this technique before job interviews. He imagined himself speaking calmly and answering questions confidently. After practicing this for a few weeks, he felt much more relaxed in real conversations. And he eventually got the job he wanted. Visualization works because your brain responds to imagined experiences almost as strongly as real ones. Try this simple phrase with me. I can imagine myself speaking confidently. Again, I can imagine my success. Before we finish this section, I want you to take a moment and appreciate your progress. You have already learned so much. You have practiced speaking, listening, repeating, imagining, and building powerful habits. Every word you read, every sentence you repeat, Every idea you reflect on brings you closer to the confident English speaker you want to be. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Imagine the conversations you will have, the people you will meet, the opportunities you will open for yourself. Speaking English is not only about language. It is about connection, growth, and possibility. And you are moving toward those possibilities step by step. Repeat this with me. I am on the right path. Again, I am becoming the speaker I want to be. Keep going. You are doing an amazing job. As we arrive at this final section of our lesson, I want you to pause for a moment and appreciate how far you have come. You have explored your confidence, practiced new strategies, repeated powerful phrases, learned from real stories, and discovered how your voice can grow through simple daily habits. Now, in this last chapter, we will bring everything together and focus on the bigger picture of what it truly means to speak English with confidence, clarity, and joy. This is not the end of your journey. It is a new beginning, a doorway into a future where English is a natural part of your identity, your goals, and your life. Confidence is not only a skill, it is a gift you give yourself. It is the freedom to say what you think, the ability to connect with people from all over the world, and the courage to express your ideas, your stories, and your dreams. When you speak English confidently, you open new paths in your studies, your job, your travel, and your friendships. You create possibilities that did not exist before, and the beautiful thing is that confidence grows through action. Every time you speak, every time you practice, every time you try again, you water the seed of confidence inside you. I want to share one last story with you. A few years ago, I had a student named Layla. She loved learning English but felt shy speaking in front of others. She often worried that her pronunciation wasn't perfect or that her grammar wasn't correct. One day, she joined a group conversation during a workshop. She didn't plan to speak. She just wanted to listen. But the group began discussing a topic she cared about, something she was passionate about. Without thinking, she raised her hand and shared her opinion. Her voice shook a little, but her words were clear. After she finished, something surprising happened. The group applauded her courage. One person thanked her for her perspective. Another said her idea helped them see the topic in a new way. Later, Layla told me that this simple moment changed her life. She said, "I realized my voice matters. Even when it trembles, your voice matters too. Even when it trembles, repeat this with me. My voice matters. Again, my voice matters. When you say this, you recognize the strength you already have. You celebrate the courage within you. You honor your progress and your potential." Another important truth is that confidence grows faster when you support yourself with kind thoughts. Many learners criticize themselves too quickly. They say things like, "My English is bad," or "I can't speak well," or "I'm too slow." But these thoughts do not help you grow. They limit your strength. Instead, try practicing gentle, supportive thoughts. You can say, "I'm improving," "I'm learning step by step," "I can do this," or "I'm trying, and that is enough." These words become the foundation of your confidence. They form the mental environment that allows your English to bloom. Let's practice together. I am learning step by step. I can do this. My English is improving. Feel how different these words are from negative ones. Feel how they lift your energy instead of bringing it down. Speaking confidently begins with thinking confidently. As you continue your journey after this lesson, I want you to build a simple practice routine that supports your long-term growth. You can follow a 3-part routine every day. Speak, listen, reflect. First, speak for a few minutes about anything. Your plans, your feelings, your goals, or what happened during your day. Next, listen to a short English clip, a podcast, a story, a video, or a conversation. Finally, reflect by writing or thinking about one new word, one new idea, or one new expression you noticed. This easy 3-step routine keeps your English alive. It keeps you moving. It keeps you growing. Another powerful practice is embracing conversations as opportunities, not tests. Many learners worry about speaking because they see each conversation as an exam they must pass. But a conversation is not an exam. It is simply an exchange between people. Conversations are not about perfection. They are about connection. When you see conversations this way, you speak more naturally, more warmly, and more confidently. You listen better, you respond more calmly, and you feel more relaxed. Try saying this. Conversations are opportunities, not tests. Again, I can connect, not just answer. These thoughts make speaking feel easier and more human. Before we end, I want you to imagine the future version of yourself who speaks English with calm confidence. Picture yourself in a real situation, maybe at an airport, in a meeting, at a cafe with international friends, or giving a presentation. Imagine your voice steady, your mind clear, your words flowing. Imagine the smile on your face and the sense of pride in your heart. That future version of you already exists inside you. You are growing into that version right now. Every word in this lesson has moved you closer. Repeat after me. I am becoming a confident English speaker. Again, I believe in my ability to improve. Now take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Feel the progress you have made. Feel the strength you have developed. Feel the confidence rising in you. You have completed this full lesson. You have shown commitment, courage, and dedication. You have proven to yourself that you can learn, grow, and push past fear. Carry this confidence with you. Let it guide you. Let it support you. Let it open new doors in your life. And remember, this journey is not about perfection. It is about connection, progress, and the beautiful process of learning. You are ready. You are capable. You are strong. You are a confident English speaker in progress, and you will continue to shine.